Good morning, gamers. Welcome into the Gamers Roast podcast. I'm your host, Joshua J. Alongside me, Wesley Lance.
Good morning, everyone.
And today, we're going to be bringing you everything about video games. It's a beautiful Thursday, September 30th, last day of September. Can you believe it?
I do that at every episode. That's the last episode of that month. I go, like I'm freaking out. But it is weird because I feel like we've only recorded 2 episodes this month, but it's full 4.
Yeah.
So weird.
We're episode 11.
Yeah, I feel like the coffee for this week would have been a much more appropriate episode 10 celebration than the abomination I brought last week.
But hey, last week was fun.
It was nice. It was not nice. It was fun. It was disgusting coffee, but it was fun.
Well, hey, so let's get into the grind real quick. Just make sure you smash that like button, comment down below, follow us on YouTube, on wherever you get your podcasts. It goes out on all of those. Subscribe, and yeah, if you'd like to donate, we have a donation down there for all of the people
Feels
that
so
listen.
official.
I know, it's kind of cool. Like, we actually had someone, and we'll get into it in a second, actually donate the coffee this week, which is really cool, and I'm super excited to try it. I've wanted to try it for a long time now, but it's expensive, so to say the least, so I haven't been able to get my hands on it, but I did. So let's hop into the football real quick for Thursday.
Yeah.
I was wrong again.
Big surprise.
I know it's so hard to predict correctly.
Well, also the amount of detail you go in, like it's bad enough to try to predict who's going to win, but you try to predict the score. And I'm like, dude.
Well, we'll see what happens, And I think I'm going to have a good chance this time. So it's Jacksonville Jaguars versus Cincinnati Bengals tonight. And Trevor Lawrence and the Jags have not been good. They're 0-3, and the Bengals are 2-1. Now, their loss came, I think they're 2-1. They might be 1-2. I'm pretty sure it's 2-1. But they went against the Bears and they lost, which the Chicago Bears got destroyed. Poor Justin Fields got sacked 9 times against the Browns.
Wow.
Yeah. You could almost say Nagy doesn't give a crap about his players because he doesn't. And he only cares about himself. Anyway, we're not talking about the Chicago Bears. That's not a podcast. That's a different podcast. I'm going to say, though, that the Cincinnati Bengals, I think they're going to win. I'd be willing to say 31-14.
Wow, that wide of a margin.
31-14. Yeah, I think that it could. I really do think it could be that. I think that they're good enough. Joe Burrow's good enough. I think that they'll be able to get the win and really make it look good. Make it like a margin, like big old margin there. So
you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
31-14, and we're gonna take the Bengals. So moving on to the coffee.
Yeah. So, have you guys ever seen a coffee that has an authenticity certificate? Because this does, right here. Can I just read it?
Yeah, go for it.
Authenticity guarantee. This is to certify that the Kopi Luwak coffee you have purchased or received as a donation from Kaya Kopi is guaranteed to be authentic, wild, and organic. This coffee is sourced from the finest coffee plantations in Indonesia, ingested by wild Asian palm civets, and carefully hand-processed by local harvesters. And in case you missed that little thing, yes, these coffee beans are ingested by animals and pooped out and then harvested and processed.
Well, they're partially digested and fermented in the stomach, and it's what gives it its amazing flavor.
Yeah, so the coffee this week is Kaya Kopi from Indonesia.
And it was donated to us by Aaron Piper. And
I heard his name a couple times.
I'm super excited to try it. To get 2 pounds of the coffee beans, or a pound of the coffee beans, is $650. To put that in perspective, you can get the same amount of coffee beans from Big B for $15. So
yeah, it's about right.
So
he bought us, what was it, like 8 ounces or no? It wasn't even that much.
Was it 0.88?
Yeah, it was less than an ounce, beans. And it was like $30. So yeah, this ain't cheap stuff.
So, yeah, it came in a little pouch. It was enough to make a total of 3 6-ounce cups of coffee.
We have 2 of them right here.
And we decided to do it the traditional Indonesian way, which was grind your beans, put the 2 tablespoons of finely ground beans into your coffee cup, pour 6 ounces of fresh filtered hot water, and it tells you the degrees of 195 to 205 Fahrenheit. If you're weird, we could say 90 to 96 degrees Celsius.
Literally, we're the weird ones. Everyone else uses Celsius.
America. Screeches and freedom. And then let the grounds sink. You're not wrong. Let the grounds sink to the bottom of the cup and wait about 3 minutes for the luwak flavor to extract. You may use a strainer or filter to remove the grounds or just sip softly to not disturb them. Enjoy your coffee, and it tells us not to use milk, cream, or sugar, which I don't use any of that crap in my coffee anyway, unless it's an iced coffee. Then it comes with it.
So we're gonna sip softly and carry a big stick.
Yeah,
because we got it straight in there.
Yeah, we didn't strain it out. We're doing it the regular way, the way the Indonesia does it, like traditional style.
I like how you're saying it in a southern accent too.
I don't know why.
The way them Indonesians do it over there. Anyway, so here we go. Kaya Kopi coffee.
$650.
I've never seen you be more scientific than when you were preparing this. You were like measuring out the water.
Well, I have to make sure that it's right. You don't screw up $650 coffee, man.
So it's been steeping for a while. So let's give it a shot. Ooh, whoa. Ooh. So I'm getting a couple of the grounds.
It's insanely smooth.
Yeah.
And there's no bitter taste at all. For it literally getting the coffee beans
that's the
into your mouth, and there is no bitterness at all.
There's no what was weird to me is like I drank it and it was good. And then I swallowed it, and all of a sudden, like this wave of coffee and a little bit of nuttiness flavor, it followed it.
It tasted, and okay, pause real quick, just so everyone knows, we are not coffee experts. For some of you out there who think that we need to make our palate more defined, shut up.
This is literally specifically adding someone.
This is for our enjoyment. And you can sit there and watch our enjoyment. If you want a professional review of the coffee, you can find that. But for us, we are gamers, and we're trying coffee, and holy crap, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really.
So it has like a bit of a nutty taste to it. It definitely, you can taste the fruit that the Svetsi, that you can taste like the fruitiness to it.
Dare I say it tastes earthy. Because it does.
It's very smooth. It's not bitter at all. Like,
I think that's the weirdest thing to me is, it is. There's like no bitter flavor. It's really hard trying to because not all the grounds have settled, and maybe we should have ground them a little finer, perhaps.
Yeah, I tried it on the setting. It just, it's hard to get it perfect. I mean,
know.
It wasn't.
We were so nervous. We were like, well, how do we do this? How do we make sure that it's
we ground $650 coffee in a $20 grinder. So it
was kind of freaking us out a little bit.
Because there's multiple ways we could have tried it. We could have done a French press. We could have done, which obviously we'd have to grind it as well, but a French press would have kept the grounds out. But for something like this, we talked it over, really decided we wanted to do it just regular. But again, normally when you get a coffee bean, it's kind of bitter and just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't mind this.
There's none of that. Now, if you don't drink coffee, it still will be bitter because it tastes like coffee.
As far as coffee goes.
I think what not weirds me out, I think what's most impressive is like the fruitiness of it. Like a lot of coffees will say, oh, it has a fruity aftertaste, notes of chocolate. Like this literally does have a fruity note to it. And I think you're right. I think it is the berries that what are they? The civet eats.
I will say though that it smells more like it has more of a fruit smell to it than it does a taste.
Yeah.
So you can definitely taste it, but when you smell it, the aroma is definitely pretty. See, I used aroma, so there you go. I'm refined.
Also, you are contractually obligated to talk in the voice of the millionaire from Gilligan's Island the entire time.
Oh, this is amazing.
This is amazing. Oh, it's simply exquisite. Yes. Yes. I feel like I have to swirl it like a fine brandy, but at that point I would be like...
then you get all the coffee
grounds.
It's like, don't disturb it. Sip softly. Oh, yes. So there you go.
That was so stupid.
Kopi Luwak coffee.
Woo! Thanks, Aaron.
Can I afford $25 a cup? No.
It was like $8 a cup. It was $8 a cup. Wait a second, because we made 3, so 25 for 3 cups is like $8 a cup. That's a venti latte from Starbucks.
Yes, but think about
venti. Sorry, I keep saying
this
venti.
Tall and filled with milk, sugar, all these additives.
But that's what I'm saying.
Starbucks, or you get a 6-ounce little cup of coffee for the $6.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So is like when you put it in perspective, I guess it's not that expensive. I guess
it's not.
To compare to regular coffee you brew at home, it is, but like...
Well, even compared to Starbucks, just because of how big Starbucks... The amount of coffee... Like, I could drink 3 cups of this and be fine.
Yeah.
By 3 cups, like...
You drink 3 venti lattes.
18 ounces of coffee is a large coffee. Like, I mean, I could drink a large cup of coffee every day. And at that point, then you are talking about $25 a coffee.
Yeah, that's true.
So
this is 6 ounces. Not even 8. 6 ounces of water.
But that... Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, rating. We got to get to the rating. What would you rate it as?
Simply to leave room. I'm going to say 9.5.
I was going to go 9.
So
again, because
I want to leave a little bit, because just because it's one of the most expensive coffees doesn't mean it's one of
the best coffees.
Right. It could be. I mean, it's the best cup of black coffee I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
So if I rate it on everything I've ever had is a 10, but not knowing what's out there, I have to give it a little bit less than that just to make sure I have enough room for if something comes along.
The complexity of the flavor palette is kind of what does it for me, because a lot of times coffee just tastes like hot water that's bitter, and this has so many other subtle flavors going on. It's really nice.
Yeah. So yes, our palate is not refined enough to tell you all of the flavors in perfect detail.
I can't even know what the 23 flavors in Dr. Pepper are. So
there's 23 flavors in Dr. Pepper?
It's on every can. It says 23 flavors.
I thought it was just one flavor of pepper. Doctors and peppers. So 2 flavors. It tastes like a doctor and pepper.
Ah.
Oh my gosh. It tastes like
no. That got way more uncomfortable than I thought it was going to go.
So
attend the tale of Sweeney Todd.
So yes,
brewed Dr. Pepper in London town.
It was the best coffee, cup of coffee I've ever had.
It's good stuff.
My gosh.
Anyway,
reuse these No, I'm kidding. Give me a ground.
Might as well.
So go ahead. Let's move on to the rest of the week. And
yeah.
You got that.
So roast of the week, I had a hard time. So I had 3 choices, and I'm going to go through all 3 of them because one of them is going to be a jumping off point to something I just want to talk about. The first one was last week we heard news about one of Blizzard's top legal people. I'm going to mess up the actual title. He resigned the day he was going to get subpoenaed to come in and testify against Blizzard, which not a good look, bro. Way to be like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff going on to resign the day of. That's not what I wanted to talk about because, again, that's legal stuff that I'm not really into, but look into it. The one that's the actual roast is us last week referring to the studio that made Beyond Two Souls and Detroit Become Human and all of those games as Quantum Dreams when it is definitely Quantic Dream, singular. Like, how did we mess that up? It's the name of the studio. I was listening to it last week and I was just like, Quantic Dream, Quantic. Every time we said Quantum Dreams, I'm like, Quantic Dream, because I made the thumbnail for the episode and I was like, Quantum Dreams thumbnail. They're like, Quantic. I was like, crap. We just recorded a 45-minute episode where we called it that over and over and over.
Is that I saw it said Quantic, and in my head I still said Quantum because...
I mean, it makes sense because quantum is a word, but yeah. Way to go, Josh and Wes of last week for getting the studio name wrong.
That's past them problem.
Yeah. But the third one that was almost the roast, but then as I thought about it, I thought it was really cool, is, Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima, one of the weirdest... So the man is really a genius, and he comes with all of the quirks and eccentricities that a genius comes with. He has created the way that people are transferring their PS4 save files for Death Stranding over to their PS5 when they buy the PS5 upgrade. A lot of people just have a menu. There's just a menu option that you just click it, it transfers it over. No, in Death Stranding, you have to... The whole point of the game, if you haven't played it, is you deliver packages. It's basically the life of an Amazon delivery person in a post-apocalypse. But you literally have to deliver your PS4 save data to a point in the game, which then delivers it to the PS5. Like, you have to finish a mission to deliver your save data.
Which is super cool. But the really crazy part is that the reason it was going to be a roast is because if you fail the mission, it bricks your PS5. Like,
wait,
you just don't get to play PS5 anymore. It's an important mission. No, I'm just kidding.
I was going to say,
but
you
dude,
made
could you
that
imagine? Like,
but that does sound like something Kojima would do.
He'd be like,
maybe not that far.
It'll break your PS5.
I don't think he would actually destroy people's property. But
laughs in Kojima.
Keep in mind, this is the guy who created a character in Metal Gear Solid who wears a combat bikini, and the reason she does is because she breathes through her skin, so she has to keep as much skin exposed as possible. Like, Kojima, what are you on?
It's like, why are you naked? It's how I breathe, bro.
Like, at least, okay, to be fair, that's more justification than we normally get for scantily clad female characters, so at least there's a reason, but like...
Maybe they all breathe through their skin.
Oh, that's not a world I want to live in.
I mean, we're not females. We don't know, you know?
Okay, all right.
And in winter, they just got to hold their breath.
I'm not going to touch that one.
They just hold their breath and wear their Ugg boots, you know?
I'm not going to touch that one. Okay, so anyway... Roast on us from last week for getting the studio wrong, but also slight roast on Hideo Kojima for just being a really weird dude. Like,
ooh,
what?
You gonna get some flack for that?
I'm not saying he's not a genius, but he's also like, even the people who love him would say that he's weird. Like, he's a weird guy.
Yeah,
he's incredibly meta, and I love meta stuff. I've never played a Kojima game, but I've read a lot about them because
Death Stranding was fun. I
just find him.
It was weird. Dude, I remember carrying a baby. So, like, you got to carry the baby in Death Stranding. And it warns you of the other things. And it starts crying. And you got to keep the thing quiet or else the monsters will come after you. Like, anyway. So, I'm, like, talking to Carl. I'm like, I can't make it be quiet.
Because don't you have to actually rock the controller?
So, I'm shaking. And I look back, and this dude's yanking this baby, making it scream more because you got to do it gentle. And I got freaked out. So, I just start shaking this baby and hurting it. And I'm like, oh, my bad. Quiet. And, you know, now that I'm a dad, it helps me prepare for the game, you know.
It helps you prepare for the game, but the game did nothing to prepare you for your daughter.
No, because I would have shaken my daughter too much. So when they gave me the daughter, they're like, be careful. So I was very careful. And now when I play the game, I'm like, I know how to do this now. I do it in real life. I can do it in the game. I got this.
Such a weird game.
It's fun.
I watched a Kid Icarus video about it. He was like, I never wanted to play as an Amazon delivery person. It's a really cool social statement, though, about like the necessity of those people that do those kinds of jobs that nobody appreciates, that are like underpaid.
They got their own cool game.
Yeah.
Man, if those Amazon workers are being attacked by weird shadow slime guys, like...
For all we know...
Poor guys.
No, they're just working for one. Anyway. Sorry.
Roast number 4.
Oof. Okay. All right. What are we talking about before I go on a rant?
Oh, all right. So after the roast of the week, we're going to hop into the Nintendo Direct.
Yes!
And
I finally get to talk about something I'm passionate about. No, I'm passionate about games.
Wow.
I'm passionate about games, but like Nintendo is my thing. Like Nintendo is my Halo. Like you go on about Halo.
Right.
Which also we need to talk about Halo because we got to play
Yes,
that.
we got to play
Actually, should we start on that? Because the Direct's
Let's do
going to
it.
be long.
Yeah, let's do it. So we started with the Halo Flight. We'll start with that because I got invited to the Halo Flight. I'm a Halo insider, and a lot of people did. And we're able to talk about it because it's open for everyone to really know and talk about. But I didn't get to play the big team battle that they were supposed to have on
that
Sunday.
was Sunday night, wasn't it?
I couldn't get in. I couldn't, like, it just wasn't loading for me personally. And so time ran out, wasn't able to play it. But we got to play a lot of the Slayer, just the team deathmatch type. And
it was so much fun.
It was a blast.
It was so much fun.
Go for it.
I forgot. So when we were talking about Halo, I was going off of my memories of playing with Josh. And then actually getting to play it, it reminded me of why Halo really has been, like, it really is my favorite FPS, and I don't even have an Xbox. And it's just, it feels so good and fluid, like just moving around. And I know you mentioned it was like
this coffee is so good.
You had your field of view up, but I don't even think it was that. Like, it's just, it's swift. There's no like weird... There's no crunchiness to the animation. It's all smooth. The gunplay is so much fun. When I got the Needler again for the first time in like 10 years, I was like, oh, it's so much fun.
The Needler didn't do as much damage as it used to do. It's a little nerfed. The bullets don't
probably
follow.
Appropriately.
Like when you used the Needler before, and the bullets would kind of like follow the person.
They still do that.
Not as much. And then doesn't do as much explosive damage. It is a great gun, and I love it. It's still one of my favorites. But you're right. The field of view was larger, so usually it's like at 60 or 80 for the consoles. But with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S,
it would just be the Xbox X.
Or wait, why did I say PlayStation 5?
Yeah, it's Halo. That doesn't work. Anyway,
sorry.
For the Xbox, the new console.
I can't believe I spaced. Anyway, for the new Xbox, it can you can expand that to 120, which is what PC players have, which is why they're really good. Because when you see
It was
it that
so
way,
nice.
it's smooth, it's quick, and you can see a lot of your peripheral. Where before it's just like almost like you have blinders on. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a blast, dude. And sorry, the reason I said the PlayStation is because I'm still tripping over this coffee. It is so freaking good. But yeah, I loved it. What was your favorite out of the 3 maps? What was your favorite map?
Well, I only get to play Bazaar and what was the training camp one? I didn't get to play the third one. Probably. See, I would actually probably say the training camp. I liked Bazaar. Only got to play Bazaar like twice. I got to play training camp like 5 or 6 times. But I like the different environment. Like I like the different levels that the training camp has. Like there's a lot of like places to climb up and hide behind, and there was. I guess Bazaar had it too. I don't know. I think that Bazaar was so spread out. I had a hard time finding people, whereas training camp was nice and condensed, and you were never too far off from just getting into the fray again.
See, I liked Bazaar because of that. Because it reminded me. It was honestly almost like a little bit of Modern Warfare map.
It really felt like it.
You were in the middle of like a dirt city town, and so I liked going up and hopping through the buildings and shooting at people, and that to me that was fun. I enjoyed that part. So that was my favorite map. The map you didn't get to play, I can't remember the name of it, but it was more of like a not training facility, but like an alien ship on the inside. But it was almost like you were confined to, I couldn't tell if it was a ship or if it was like just like inside of a building, but it had that feel to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool. That one was pretty cool. But I like Bazaar. That was probably my favorite map.
Yeah.
So I did find out that you could upgrade, and this is why I was so bummed I didn't get to play much after. I found out I could just upgrade the battle pass, and it allowed me to just buy all the stuff, and I was able to then equip the colors and equip the visors and equip the armor and like do all the.
Did you have to pay money?
No, it just let you just like hit advance on and just advance the levels of the stuff. And so I advanced all the level like to the levels or whatever, and got the cool purple visor. I got a purple. I like purple, so I got the purple visor, and that's what I went with, even though there was higher tier ones. And then I got the color purple and all that, and I got to play like 2 matches with it, and then
that's really cool.
Get back in. I was like, oh,
this has essentially sealed the deal that when I get to the point where I'm able to upgrade, I'm gonna go at least Series S. I'll probably get a PS5 at some point, but I'm definitely waiting a couple years because by that point, all of the exclusives will be out. I'll be able to do the research on the ones that I want to buy. I can get the PS5 then and just play the ones that I want to play.
Right.
Because that's the big thing about the PS5 is the exclusives.
Like KOTOR. I mean, and it's coming to Xbox. It's just going to be like a year later.
Yeah. So I'm almost definitely going to go at least Series S, maybe up to X. It depends on my financial situation when I get around to upgrading. But this has essentially sealed it for me because between this and Game Pass.
Yeah. And Halo, man. Free to play.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. So
excuse me. Sorry. So yeah, the Halo flight was good. And yeah, let's hop into the Nintendo Direct.
Direct. So first off, I think we got to address my prediction for Nintendo Switch Online was completely off.
I'm actually excited for this one.
Nintendo Switch Online?
Yeah, for the do you want to say it?
Yeah. So I was completely off. They jumped straight to N64, completely skipped over Game Boy games, and the new controller is an N64 controller. So that leak was accurate. So apparently leaks are going to be perfectly good to speculate on. I really thought they were going to go with Game Boy games. It would have made sense, but it also makes sense for them to go with N64. You do have to pay a slightly higher price. There's another subscription tier. I gotta say, as of right now, there are no N64 games that would prompt me to buy NSO.
The Sonic?
Well, okay. Also Genesis. Yes, I guess we should go into that.
Because I was going to say, you got to get into the Genesis too.
Which is weird that we live in a world where
because that's
Nintendo
what I'm more excited for.
Nintendo and Sega are now partnering. Like, I know the console wars between Sega and Nintendo ended with the Dreamcast. They did. But like, it's just weird that like Genesis games are now, I guess they've been available with the Sonic's Genesis collection for a while. I don't know. It still weirds me out that they're available through like a first-party Nintendo provided service like this. So there's a bunch of Genesis games available for NSO as well. I again didn't see any that I really wanted to play because I already own Echo the Dolphin and Sonic 2 and 3 on my Genesis.
Right. Well, because when I heard Sega, I was like, no way. And then I saw Sonic and I was like, yes, because that's the one I played, man. I played that song. That was like the main Sonic that I played. And so I was I was pumped for that.
Now
That pumped me up.
it would have been cool if to keep with the theme of the N64 if they had Dreamcast games. That would have been really cool.
Gosh, I would have
having like Shenmue and
snowboarders.
It's not 1080 Avalanche. Yeah, it's snowboarders. It's a different game.
That was I love
Sonic
snowboarders.
Adventure 1. That would be really cool, but that's not what we got.
Rush 20. I think it was at 2024, which we're totally not going to be there with flying cars, but it was Dreamcast. So I had a Dreamcast, and people, man, y'all slept on that console. That was.
I kind of wish I had a Dreamcast.
That was stuff.
That one looks like it had some good stuff, but not what we got. We got Genesis and N64 games. I own Ocarina of Time 3D, so I don't really feel compelled to buy NSO for that. I have Mario 3D All-Stars, so I have Mario 64. Mario Kart 64 is going to be so depressing to play by myself. What else was there?
I can't remember all of them.
I don't remember what else there was.
Because they kind of just flashed a picture of what was on there. And then.
However, in their expected releases, they had Majora's Mask and Banjo-Kazooie and F-Zero X. So when those come out, I will be buying it because I have Majora's Mask 3D, but somebody pointed out that when they remastered Majora's Mask, it lost a lot of the eerie nature the original game had. And once I read that, it ruined the remake for me.
Really?
So yeah, because it did. I realized that it did. Like something about it is not quite as off as the original just had an atmosphere. I don't know what it is. So I really want to play it in its original form, and I don't have an N64. So once Majora's Mask and F-Zero X, and I've always wanted to play Banjo-Kazooie. And again, I don't have an Xbox or an N64 to play it. So once that comes out, I will probably be buying NSO.
Got you. Well, I'm excited for all of it. Like I'll probably get NSO soon, especially if you get it, so that we can play some online.
Yeah, that's true. At that point,
that was a cool thing. Nintendo 64 online. Like
yeah,
you can
that's
play,
true.
Like
you can play Mario Kart with friends online.
Right, and that's
cool.
really sweet. That's really cool. So especially if you get the controller. Like I don't like the controller, but for nostalgic purposes, like
I'm not buying
get
the N64 controller. Are you kidding me? No.
I mean, for nostalgia.
For $50 to use a controller that is objectively worse than every controller that currently exists.
But capitalism, nostalgia. People will buy it.
That's more consumerism than capitalism, but sure.
All of the things.
Yeah. No, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the N64 controller.
What? So there's a lot of the games that happen in Nintendo Direct. So we can't get to probably all of them.
Yeah.
But what are some of the main ones you just kind of want to breeze over?
Kirby! No, sorry. I want to get into Kirby. Never mind. If we're just breezing over them.
Yeah.
Bayonetta 3 is happening. I never cared about Bayonetta. Triangle Strategy, which is the weirdest name for a game I've ever heard. Looks like another interesting strategy game. You and I both were interested in, what was it, Voice of Cards?
Yes, actually.
That one caught my interest.
So that one I'm going to go into detail about, so we can skip that one for right now.
Okay.
But
man, I'm trying to think of all of them.
Because it was Voice of Cards, Isle Dragon Roars.
I kind of skipped. So I didn't watch it live. I was out to dinner with my family. So I kind of skimmed through it after the fact because I'm not one to just sit and watch an 1.5-hour presentation if I can skip through it.
It was only an hour.
Whatever it was.
A little less.
But I mean, those really the ones that hit me were Voice of Cards and, as you may have guessed, Kirby.
So what? Why? Okay, so I saw the Kirby thing. Kirby's never spoke to me. Mainly because
he can't talk. He goes,
But his boya, I don't get those. You know, like they don't hit me in the feels.
I've heard people say that Kirby is the weakest franchise Nintendo has, and I will fully admit Kirby does the same game over and over and over and over and over again. I don't know what it is about Kirby that I love so much. I think it's because it is just pure childlike wonder and joy. Like there's something about that, and maybe it's Sakurai. Maybe it's because Masahiro Sakurai is the creator of Kirby, and Masahiro Sakurai is just a legend. But every time I play a Kirby game, even if I know I'm playing I played through Kirby Star Allies with my brother and Michaela, and we just had a blast the whole time. And yes, it's super simple, and yes, it's like the same game as Kirby's Return to Dreamland, which I also played through with my siblings. But I played through the whole game, and I just have I have a fun time. But it's a fully 3D Kirby game, which is weird that we're just now getting this. But it's the Legend of Kirby Puyo of the Wild. Like, it's also set in like this post-apocalyptic universe, which just looks really cool. So Kirby, I think one of the things I like about Kirby is it also, every game hides a really dark underbelly. Like when you get to the final boss of a Kirby game, it can get dark. I don't know if you've ever seen
He eats people whole.
look up the final boss look up 02 Kirby 64. Look up the final boss of Kirby 64. You will see like it gets dark. Do you see? Is it like the weird angel thing with the red eye that shoots blood? It shoots blood out of its eyes.
Why?
Because
why would it do that?
Because this is what Kirby is. And so I love the clash between the cutesy thing and the like elder god abomination that he ends up fighting. Void Termina and Kirby Star Allies is the same thing. I'm just really excited to be able to explore this world that they've created, and it looks gorgeous. It looks so colorful and fun, and I'm so excited. There's not a lot of games that I'm like day one buy. I'm not even day one buying Metroid Dread. I'm going to wait for that to go down a little bit. And I love Metroid games. But Kirby, what is it? I can't even remember the stupid name of the game. Oh, what is it? Kirby Explore the Stars. New Kirby game. I feel very underprepared, and I apologize to everyone watching right now.
Sorry, I was trying not to chuckle when you were talking. It wasn't because you were like being funny, but I tried to get the last little sip of
Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Kopi Luwak coffee, and I got a mouthful of grounds.
Ew.
And it wasn't bitter, but it's like when you swallow dirt.
Yeah.
So just be careful if you do it the traditional way, man.
He's still sipping this coffee.
I was trying to get as much as I could out of it, but yeah, it's just all grounds now. But man, it was good.
But
so
anyway,
that's why I was laughing.
I'm just super excited for this Kirby game. I'm probably going to pick it up day one. I'm going to have a blast. I don't usually do the day one thing, but man, and it's different. I think that's what's so exciting to me is to finally see Kirby take a jump into a new direction because they have played it safe for so long. And so seeing a game that looks like what Mario Odyssey was to Mario for Kirby, in addition to the fact that Kirby hasn't gotten a 3D game like that yet, I don't know. I'm really pumped.
Well, and I'm interested.
Don't you harsh on my buzz.
I'm not going to harsh on it. It's just not my thing. Like,
that's fair. It's not everybody's thing.
It is interesting. It is different than what they normally do with Kirby games. So it's not the same Kirby game that they always put out.
Right.
So that's interesting. That's cool. But for me, it just doesn't hit. And that's because most of Mario don't hit for me. Like it just...
You grew up with the PS2, PS3, Xbox 360.
Right, Sega. Well, I grew up with Sega, but I played more of like the racing games, Rayman, which Rayman's... I mean, it has similar concepts, but...
Rayman's not... Yeah, I actually have Rayman Legends. I've been meaning to get through that.
That was a fun one. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, so I just never... It never hit for me because I never grew up with that stuff.
Yeah. I have always loved Kirby. Ever since my introduction to him was Super Smash Bros. Melee, and then eventually I got Kirby Superstar Ultra on my DS, and I loved that.
See, for this, like for the whole Nintendo Direct, I went into it thinking, there's nothing for me here. I'm not going to watch this and be super hyped really about anything. Even when they said voice of cards, I'm like, oh, it's a card game. Woohoo. And then as I watch them play, I'm like,
yeah, so this one was weird to me because it does not... I go back and forth on RPGs. I either love them or I hate them. I've been playing through Earthbound. I love it. I've been playing through Pathfinder, which I don't know if we talked about that at all. We'll get into that.
Yeah,
it's basically a D&D style RPG, and I don't like it. It's the game that I'm reviewing for this month for Geeks Under Grace, and I haven't enjoyed it. So RPGs are really hit or miss for me, so I generally don't go for them. This one, just something about it kind of spoke to me. I need to get the demo still.
Yeah, so I played the demo, not all the way through. I still have some way to play through it. But Carly was watching it and like following along.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were like kind of seeing what it was about. And the demo is very linear and very just, you don't really get to do much, but it's all cards.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Like you go into the throne room and the cards look like a throne room. And then you move your little chess piece up to talk to the queen, and then it flips over some cards and you see the queen and you see the travelers you're going to be with, and then you go on your way, and for the demo you're in control of 3 different travelers, and you're going, and a narrator's telling the story.
Yeah. So
it's like a dungeon master guiding you through the game and the world. And so it is Japanese, so some of the pictures and stuff are interesting. We walked up on a dude who's in a Speedo, and he's like super muscular, and the DM's like, and his muscular physique. And I'm like, okay, like I don't know.
At
about
least it's
that,
equal
but, like,
opportunity this time.
Yeah, it's and then the girl in the party goes, "There's no time for lustful things. We need to know about how we can get across to the ship, like with the ship or what." And I'm like, okay, like so. There's a few things in it that just are
Me
like
sitting with my bowl of Doritos on the couch.
it's like, but the gameplay is interesting. So the attacks are turn based, and you roll a dice for certain attacks that you do. And you have a box with gems on it, and it looks like a tabletop. So the screen looks like a tabletop.
Yeah.
And then he lays out the cards for you. And so you have a certain amount of gems in this box, and they can use for your cards to make bigger attacks and things like that. So you have different perks. It's like almost like a D&D style. Just
before we get too far into this, can I point out that there's actually a mode in Mario Party 5 that is literally this.
Really?
Called Card Party, where you play the little characters, little pawns, and you hop around, and the cards tell you whether you're gonna get a star or something, and you don't know where they are because they flip over as you go, and it's all cards. And that came out in like 2005. Anyway, sorry. Continue. That's all I was thinking. I was like, it's Mario Party 5. Come back to haunt me from the grave. Ah!
Well, it's like you go through the map, and it's all cards face down, and then when you walk on, that's how you reveal the map is by walking on these cards. It is a
really cool concept,
and it's just it's fun. It's a blast. I found a little goblin that was suffering from poison, and it was like you can help him or you can save him. So I saved him.
You can help him or save him,
or like help him or kill him or whatever, or just leave him to die. And I'm like, I want to help him. And so later on, I'm going. It's like, oh no, a monster comes up. And I'm like, oh crap! It was the little goblin dude, and he gave me a fish and healed all of my characters for like 20 hit points. And I was like, sweet. So it resurrected one of my people that had gotten killed earlier. And so I was like, being good paid off. Found a rock that someone said if you roll a 6 on, that it turns into gold and gives you 500 gold. And I was like, okay. And it's like, roll the dice to see what the rock becomes. I'm like, rolling the dice. And it was like 4. I'm like, what's the 4 give me? And it was like, it's a demonic spirit rock. And I'm like, oh crap. It was like, prepare to fight. And I'm like, okay.
Well, if this game really is Japanese, 4 is an extremely unlucky number in Japan.
I did not notice.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's close to 6. And I was like, demon monster rock. Prepare to fight.
It's close to 6.
Who had an armor of 50. So I'm like, whoa. You did 20 damage to him. It took 1 hit point. And I'm like, okay, that's great. And Carly's like, what happened? And I'm like, I don't know. Some people get gold. Other people get demon rocks.
Don't roll a 4. I like how you started that out with, I found a rock. It was just like, cool.
I did. It was a rock. It was a cool rock. You know, but it was a fun game. Yeah. So I'm like maybe 20 minutes into it. But I went into the town. They have an inn. They have a blacksmith. They have like a healer shop. They have a card game. You can play a card game in the card game, which is going to be a multiplayer version, actually. Ooh. So you can play, like you and me could play each other on the card game. So
just, I'm going to be humming the Inception theme the entire time we play.
So it was really cool. I'm really excited for it. I'm really hyped. But I'm probably going to it's going to be $30 when it comes out October 28th. Oh,
that's not bad.
So it's coming out next month. Like,
ooh, I might pick that up, actually.
Literally less than 30 days from now. Like,
I might pick, for $30, I might pick it up.
Yeah, it's $1, save $1 a day.
$1 a day.
And you'll get your game.
Sorry. I don't know why I said it like that. But yeah. No, yeah, I'll probably pick that up. I'll get the demo and try to decide. And then the last thing, so this is the part, Josh had to stop watching the direct before they got to announcing the cast for the Illumination Mario movie. I had heard that this was happening. I hadn't heard any official news. Like, for all I knew, this was another thing that people were saying. But this is the first official news I've heard that Illumination is indeed working on a Mario movie. I'll give you 3 guesses as to who's playing Mario. Everyone else probably watching this knows. But
I have no idea.
Josh has no clue.
You said I'd know them.
You definitely will know pretty much all of these people.
Is there any way you could give me? Is it a live action or is it cartoon?
No, it's cartoon. It's Illumination. It's the people that do Despicable Me.
Oh gosh. Is Steve Carell in this movie?
No, that would be very funny, but
that
no,
would have
he's
been
not.
Awesome. I'm gonna go. I don't even know. Give me a hint.
Well, that hint would just give it away. He's in the Marvel movies.
Is it Ryan Reynolds?
No, it's not Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds, that's Deadpool's not Marvel. I mean, technically Marvel. He's not in the
Marvel.
MCU.
He's gonna be
at some point. Yes.
What's
One more guess, and then I'll just give it to you. It's Stario-Lord.
What?
Yes, Chris Pratt is playing Mario.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
I'm gonna watch it now. I'm gonna watch it now.
I just can't.
I'm
I
gonna
don't.
watch it.
I am very shocked because, like, at the very least, get like Danny DeVito or somebody Italian. But no, Chris Pratt.
Well, that's how I was trying to think. I was like,
No, I know it doesn't make any sense.
I just thought maybe Steve Carell because he's good at doing like voices and stuff. Like,
Well, so it's interesting you mentioned Steve Carell. So I'm just going to go through this real quick. Charlie Day's Luigi. He's from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I've never watched it. I don't know anything about Charlie Day. Anya Taylor-Joy is Princess Peach. Jack Black is Bowser.
yes,
Yeah. So
let's go.
So the weird voice thing.
Team Bowser,
Yeah.
bro.
Jack Black is Bowser. Seth Rogen is playing Donkey Kong.
What?
This one is by far my favorite. Keegan-Michael Key is playing Toad. I'm so excited because Toad has so historically been like so obnoxious. And so, I don't know, having half of Key and Peele playing
It's gonna be
Toad.
great. It's gonna be great.
I've seen
What's
several
this movie gonna be rated?
I don't know, but there's a part of me that kind of hopes they go like
PG-13.
at least PG-13. I saw a comment that said this entire movie is going to be one giant meme. And I'm like, that's the way to make a Mario movie, though, because there is no way to make a serious movie based in the Mario universe. There's just not.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to come up with... Well, they did. They tried that back in the 80s with the Super Mario Brothers movie with Bob Hoskins. And it was terrible. It was absolutely dreadful. I've never watched it, but I kind of want to. But so if they lean into the meme and they just go nuts on it, I think it will at least be entertaining for the meme value.
I'm excited now. When does it come out?
Oh, they never gave us a release date. We haven't been able to see any footage or anything. It's going to be, I think Shigeru Miyamoto said that it was going to be like January until we
Is
get to see
Wario in it?
I don't know. Could be. I know Charles Martinet is going to be like cameoing as different characters, and he plays pretty much all of the male characters in Mario. So if Wario's in it, it might be like a cameo from Charles Martinet. But
Man,
yeah,
I'm interested now. I'm kind of.
At first, I was disappointed that Charles Martinet is not playing Mario, but then I realized that listening to "Woohoo" for an hour and a half movie could get a little annoying. So
what? Okay, so my question is, Bowser doesn't talk in Mario, like.
So it depends on the Mario game you're playing. If you're playing like a mainline like Mario Galaxy, he technically does have dialogue, but he himself is not voiced. But like he says words. However, if you're playing Paper Mario, I love the way Bowser is portrayed in Paper Mario. It is to this day one of the best characterizations Nintendo has ever done because he tries so hard to be threatening, but he's also incredibly sarcastic and bumbling at the same time.
So you think that's what they're going to go with for Jack Black?
I hope so. I hope they go that character direction.
I could just see Bowser walking out of his castle and be like, "Oh, my bag," all like Jack Black style, and just be like,
"That's kind of Paper Mario. That's kind of Paper Mario Bowser." He's
not scary. He's just
So I'm hoping that that's the character direction they're going with Bowser. It's gonna be weird hearing him talk. Because
you're gonna see Jack Black.
Well, it's gonna be weird seeing Bowser open his mouth and hearing Jack Black's voice come out.
Jack Black. They should just paste Jack Black's face onto him.
Gosh, no.
They should do a Mario where so all these people, right? But just in costumes.
Either that or do what they did for the Deadpool trailer where it's just Deadpool reenacting the movie with action figures.
Yes.
And it's all of the characters just using Amiibo and acting out the whole movie.
That'd be awesome.
Or
just sitting around with their characters and be like, "Oh no, Princess Peach." Like, I don't.
You did like a strong bad. You did like a strong Brad impression there. Like, "Oh no, Princess Peach, don't go over there."
If Jack Black sat at a table and used action figures for a movie, I would watch it.
Yeah,
because he would make it entertaining and funny.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I really hope that they just lean into the ridiculous. It's Illumination, so who knows? Illumination gets a lot of hate. I liked Despicable Me 1 and 2. 3 was not good.
So fluffy, I'm gonna die.
Sing was okay.
I liked Sing. It was pretty good.
I never watched Secret Life of Pets. Like, a lot of people say that they are just generic children's movies, which sort of, I don't know. I've never had a problem with Illumination, so as long as the Minions aren't in it.
I thought it was good.
As long as the Minions don't show up again.
But
Wonder
so,
if the
yeah.
toads will become the new minions.
Oh my, no, don't, no.
Oh boy.
Well, there you guys have it. We talked about a lot of stuff today.
Yeah.
Nintendo Direct, Voice of Cards, Mario movie with Jack Black in it, apparently.
I like how we went right past Chris
Kirby.
Pratt into Jack. Into
Chris Pratt.
full-
I'm super excited for Chris Pratt, but dude, Jack Black, man, he's gonna make this movie something.
Yeah.
Man. Between him and like the dialogue between them two is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. $650 Kopi Luwak coffee. If you want to get some for yourself, look it up online. You can get small amounts for decently
For the price of Voice of Cards, you can get 2-3 cups of coffee.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Money perspective is a weird thing, ain't it?
It is. Now I will say it has been the best cup of coffee I've ever had. So again, I'm not a professional, you know. Some people say my palate's not refined, so take it with a grain of salt. But as far as it goes for me, that's the best dang cup of coffee.
Ooh, yeah, got the sand that time.
Got the sand. Yeah. Just don't drink the sand. I do want to try it in a French press. I think that'd be good.
Yeah. I think I would prefer that to this, but
it was
here we
good.
are.
It was great. So with that, we'll leave you guys to it. Make sure you watch lots of football, drink lots of coffee, play lots of games. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Have a great day, guys. Gosh.
wow.